Hello, there is Bibi Cameron. Welcome to another video. Today I want to share with you some of my findings when using color pencils. I'm very new to this. I have to say I haven't used this kind of pencils for years. However, using these pencils is very trendy right now in card making, illustration, and in a wide variety of hobbies, craft, and art. So I finally give them a try and I'm loving them. And I'm so excited with these pencils that I have to make this video and share this joy with you. Okay, it's not rocket science. I found that when I use smooth cardstock or paper, the colors performs better. My favorite here is BRISTOL paper. This is a 270 grams paper. It's really smooth. It's not completely white. It's kind of ivory. And I also like this paper here. It's Tone Tan by Strathmore as well. And for example, I have add color to this little house on that paper. And this one here is BRISTOL paper. I'm not sure if you can see there, but I noticed a difference in the look and feel of the final coloring depending the paper I have used. There is a difference in the texture and also the color vibrancy. So this paper here, Tone Tan, comes in sheets of 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. I know there is a larger part of this paper. And you see here, the color is very similar than craft cardstock. In a next experiment, I'm going to check out what is the difference between craft cardstock and this paper. For now, I just use one sheet of this paper and I cut it in half and I made two front panels for a card with this paper. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a background for my card on BRISTOL paper, this one here, and I'm going to stamp the images and I'm going to color those images on that Tone Tan paper. I'm going to be using these pencils here. They are Faber-Castell Classic Color Pencils and some of the darker shades in the Faber-Castell Polychromos range. They are finest artist quality, while these ones here are more for basic coloring, so that the price of these ones here is the third of the price of the Polychromos. I'm not an expert colorist, but in my opinion, these pencils are great value for money. I need them to make cards or to add colors to stamped images. So these were the first samples I made with the colors, and I think they are easy to apply and they are quite nice. And the good news is that if you like the beautiful stamp set I'm going to be using today, which is a Christmas stamp set by Simon Says Stamp, you can also buy the tin of 48 classic Faber-Castell color pencils from the Simon Says Stamp shop, as well the BRISTOL paper. All the links are in the video description. And I'm also going to be using these blender sponges. They are for makeup. I got them in a local shop for £1.50, but I'm sure if you want to give this a try, you can get these sponges anywhere. I'm going to start sponging a background with color pencils, and to do that I just need to grab my pencil sharpener and I'm going to grab the pencil colors I want for this background. In this case I'm going to be using different shades of blue and I'm going to do this. And what I'm going to do here is with my fingertip I'm going to rub this color on the background like so. So give me a nice and a smooth background. I don't need to spend a lot of time coloring because honestly, achieving a very smooth color just by tracing lines is really hard. I'm just doing that, and because I want a little bit of pink here, I'm going to grab any pinky color from the box and I'm going to put some pink there, and then I'm going to do the same. I'm trying to apply the pink here, in this area here, and not at the top, just in this area here. Okay, so now I'm going to use baby oil to blend the colors on the background, and I'm going to be using the makeup sponge. So we just apply a little bit of the oil. We make sure that the oil is completely absorbed by the sponge. We don't want a sponge too oily, okay? Try to get rid of the excess of that oil. just have a little bit of the oil and go very smoothly on that cardstock. If you use another paper with oil, you might notice that the paper is going to behave differently. So I highly recommend to use this Bristol paper. Or maybe you can try another cardstock and see. So, okay. Here I want to show you how you can get that distressed edges with the color pencils. So you just grab your pencil, you see all the pencil bits are there, and come and do this. You can also even create, you know that I like looking for a piece of paper. I don't have a little piece of paper. Same here. Then I get a piece of paper. Okay. You can also make mask and also put that color like so you get kind of a little shapes in the background. Okay. So you can use this. How do you call this in English? Someone can tell me. The bits of the pencil, you can also use them like so, and you can go as intense in the color as you want, or has blue or more purple or more pink. Okay, so that's a very, very quick way to create a background. Takes a lot to explain, but it's not that much. What do you think about that? So at the moment it looks like nothing, but it will change, I promise you that. Now I'm going to grab this green color and I'm going to add this darker shade of color at the horizon of my scene. I have done this several times with inks, so what I wanted to share with you in this video is that you can blend color pencils this way and you will achieve fun effects. And you can apply this technique with flowers, critters, any stamped image, and you just can turn your color pencils in a very unique coloring tool. I know this is not new. My mother was doing this 25 years ago. Of course, she wasn't using Bristol paper. She was using vellum because vellum, makeup, and color pencils were the tools they have before. They didn't have all the fancy tools we have today. Now let me show you how I stamp and how I add color to the little house image from Christmas Town stamp set by Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to be using my Mini Misty because I want to stamp the little house there, and then I want to color the house. Once I finish coloring, I'm going to bring this piece of paper again into the Mini Misty, and I'm going to stamp over the colored piece again. In that way, I'm going to rescue the bright and dark lines at the edges of the image. Many people use a fine tip pen to do that. I'm just going to stamp over the image, which is easier. So now I'm going to start coloring, and to do that I'm going to speed the camera so you can see very quick as I build the color. I'm going to start by applying the lightest color to the darkest. So I apply light colors all over the image first, and then I start building up the color from the edges to the center of the image, and I'm going to do that by applying darker shades of colors from the edges to the center of the image. That's all I'm going to do. When I'm adding color to small images, I tend to move my hand in little circles to fill those images with color. When I'm shadowing or creating reflections, I tend to move my hand in a linear movement. And I'm not applying pressure on the pencils. I'm doing this very gently. I know it's kind of crazy coloring, but to add color to this little house, I also apply yellow color in front of the windows. And what I wanted to do is trying to create the effect of the light coming out through the windows and reflecting on the walls. At least that's what I was trying to do there. And you will see me after applying layers of colors on top. And it doesn't matter really when you are coloring, watercoloring, any kind of technique you are applying, those light colors underneath are always going to add value. They are not there for nothing. So if you see the final piece, you will see a little bit of that light on the house walls. Another thing I do as I'm coloring is applying a blending tool, and sometimes I add baby oil as well. With this, I'm going to soften the colors and blend them together. The baby oil is not going to seal the coloring. You can still apply more and more layers of colors on top and you won't have any problem. It doesn't happen the same when you are using vellum or another paper qualities, because some of this paper gets saturated with the oil and you won't be able to build up color on top. In some papers, what you are going to do is to create a hole when you add the oil. So you have to be careful when you are working, but at the same time, just give it a try. Just try. And you will also see me mixing the polychromos with the colors I already put down. If you don't want to buy the whole box of the polychromos, you can also buy at least the white and the black. They are very, very useful. I have the white polychromo color pencil and I'm going to apply it on the house and you will see a slightly difference. I hope you can see how that color pop up there. I don't want the house to be completely white. I just want it to look a little bit lighter in one side and a little bit darker in the other. So let's say that I finished coloring and I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to bring my Misty again and I'm going to place the image like so on the Misty. And I'm going to stamp all over again like that using Simon Says black ink. This ink is really dark and rich. I love it. So I'm going to apply the ink. I'm going to make sure that my stamp is completely covered by the ink because I'm going to stamp once. The little lines in that house are really thin and I don't want to spoil the coloring. So then I'm going to stamp other images and I'm going to easily mask my images like so I can just build a little Christmas scene. I'm also going to be using this image here, but I'm going to do something before stamping. And I'm going to grab a white color pencil and I'm going to create like a circular shape there. And then I'm going to add yellow in the center, like if I was drawing a fried egg. And then I keep adding colors to the trees here and there, the same way I explained before. And once I finish adding colors, I can stamp my image using the Misty. I really need to use the Misty here because that's a bold image. And if I stamp it by hand and it's partially stamped, there is nothing I can do. But if I use the Misty, I can stamp over and I can get that very sharp and dark. Once I have all that there, I can finish by applying a black pencil. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to very gentle apply the color on top of the whole image. And I'm going to increase the pressure of the color application in some edges of that image. At this point, I thought my scene need a little bit more of the Christmas spirit. So I grabbed a Nouveau glitter marker. This one is a fuchsia color. And I added some dots on the trees to make them look like lights. I also use a Uni-Ball pen. This is a black ultra fine Uni-Ball pen. And I just traced some lines on the trees to make them look like they were part of the lights. So then I just cut the whole thing with scissors. And then I'm ready to finish and assemble this card. I'm also using an Uni-Ball marker and I'm splattering the ink of that marker on the background. I'm using the pens to add more color here and there. And I decided that I wanted to stamp another trees behind the scene because it looks just like something is missing there. And when I finished, I decided to die cut the panel using this die from Honeybee Stamps, just to add a nice decorative edge to that cardstock. Now it's time to assemble my card. I'm going to glue all together, stamp the sentiment. I'm going to add some embellishments to the Christmas trees there and some finishing touches. And I'm done. These are the projects I wanted to share with you today. Also, some of the beautiful images from Christmas Town stamp set by Simon Says Stamp and Faber-Castell coloring pencils. All the supplies used in this video are linked in the video description. And that's all for today. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Visit my blog for more ideas and inspiration. You can also follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, or join my Facebook group. The links to my social network are also in the video description or in the sidebar of my blog. Thank you very much for watching and happy crafting. Bye!